Hey everyone, it's Will, GamerDad, with another video for you. So in today's video, we're going to take on the Sapient Complex Very Hard. And this is my first run through, so hopefully you bear with me as I take on all the different things. Now if you haven't already, make sure you like and subscribe to my channel, I really appreciate it. I also do have a Patreon account for those who want to support me this way. So, the weaknesses for all of these will be very similar to what you already expected when you're exploring Chapter 4. I believe this one should be weak to Earth, if not Blunt. And I do know that you will have to gather materials here in order to craft some new armor and weapons. And so I won't be spending too much time here. I'll just kind of quickly kill them off, and in the future I'll be running obviously 15 runs, and I highly recommend you do the same until you've gathered all the materials necessary. I'm also looking for, of course, for chests. Normally in most very hard dungeons you would have a 2-1-3 setup with a total of 6 chests. However, I'm not sure about this one since this is the first time. I'm also bringing a mixed team. This is my standard dungeon team actually, so I usually try to bring one magic user. Obviously we have a preemptive attack from Falcon's Blessing Kid, which can steal items of course, as well as my Aesubami, and we also have auto pain set up with ES Skia, and the reason for that is just to make things easier, since all my Grasta setups, which most of you are also the same, are probably along the lines where you have pain type Grasta. Okay, so you can clearly see I missed one side. I always am pretty excited to finish off a chapter and unlock a new dungeon. However, it does get a little bit irritating when I don't know where everything is. Alright, so you can clearly see I did all 5 battles. It is like standard dungeons where if you do 5 battles, it will be done and move on. Unlike some of the Underworld or Guerrilla dungeons, of course, where in the green key ones, there'll be unlimited types of fights. Alright, so we have done all, looks like 2 chests are gone. Okay, and move on. Now, if you have already finished Chapter 4, and you do have to have finished Chapter 4 of the Mythos in order to unlock this, let me know in the comments below what team you are bringing, if anything. I'll probably optimize in the future, but for now, like I said, I'm just bringing a basically an all-purpose team. And for those who are relatively new to the game, or even for veterans, I'm sure you kind of do the same thing where you kind of have your pre-set up dungeon team. And then depending on future runs, you can obviously modify those as needed. If you're wondering, nowadays I don't usually bring a healer, and obviously if you do still need a healer because your team is not fully matured yet, or you haven't obtained all the grasp necessary, of course bringing a healer or even a hybrid healer that has offensive capabilities, for example, the Yuris of the world, or ES Melina, Nikoko, those ones have heal functions, for example. You can bring something like that if you're not sure. Eva obviously can do some healing as well, although I'm not using her for that. Now remember, when we were taking this one on, I believe this one's weak to magic, whereas resistant to others, and so something to keep in mind as well. Okay. One thing about fighting a lot of dungeons is that you do run out of MP really quickly, in which case I will switch out my preemptive kid since we don't want to waste any time, and move on from there. Okay. Now I'm not sure of the names of the rare areas yet since this is my first run, and obviously once I figure that out, I'll hopefully show that in my farming results, because I'll be staying here for some time moving into the future. Now if you're wondering why, I do have Curio here in my team. Now he's only level 60, obviously not fully unlocked yet. However, I am using him because this is one of the first dungeons where you can farm his shadow. And so again, if you're relatively new to the game, there are certain dungeons, either hard or very hard, where you can definitely farm light or shadow for kind of main story free characters, and by doing so you obviously get them more powerful, being that as you hit more light and shadow requirements, you definitely get things like stat bonuses, ability to equip extra Grasta, or badges, and so on and so forth. Also, when we first do this one, when we first get Curio, you only get 4 shadow, I believe, on him, and so that kind of sucks. And so we really want to move on and grind as many as we can. Now, keep in mind that there's only a red key version for this. There's no green key, and so red keys have a 20% chance or a 1 in 5 chance of getting a shadow or light in some cases. Okay, so again, just exploring fully since I don't know where all the chests are, making sure we don't miss anything. Again, I'm sure you don't have to kill them all in one go. However, I do like to make sure I get everything. And in the future, if you really don't want to fight anything and you don't need to farm those armors, then of course you can definitely equip some encounter down. Now, that chest does have a rare chance, or I guess a 0.5% chance of getting a chat script there. We didn't see it here. And if you take it on Chapter 4, you'll know that this probably has a healing ability, so we'll have to see if it has an HP stopper or not. In this case, I'm going to try to blow it down and see where we're at. So, weak to wind. However, in this case, no problems at all. One-shot kill with Eva. It looks like about 2 million HP, and so I'm sure if you bring a decent level 80 team, you'll be able to slaughter that absolutely no problems. Now, in terms of light and shadow requirements, not sure which one to have. So I do happen to have light, and so technically you can use light. Not sure if you can use shadow. And that's interesting that Dragoon's here. Alright, so I will show you my setup. Pretty standard stuff. I wonder what other tomes there are in here. If it is any indication, I'm guessing you probably can farm tomes for any of the featured units in the mythos. And so obviously Suzette should be here. I wonder if Iska will be here, or Dewey or Tuva. So that should be interesting as well. And of course, Straw Boy is our MVP, carrying tons and tons of 5th Grasta for Tsubame that is used as our 0 MP clearer. And finally, like I said, Falcon's Blessing allows us to act first. And again, if her speed is faster than Tsubame, then she'll be finished. Alright, so again, as I had mentioned earlier, I just want to show this last clip of getting a Curio Light increased by 1 in 5 chance. So good luck in farming your Curio as well. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.